Hi guys, I'm here to do lab 3.4. At 3.4, it's the ocean acidification lab. I watched the video that we required and I learned what ocean acidification was. So I'm going to start off by explaining that. And it's where CO2 is released into the atmosphere and then it's absorbed by the ocean. And when it bonds with water, it creates an acid. It creates hydrogen plus, which increases acidity, which increases the acidity of the solution. As CO2 levels increase, the ocean gets closer to the acidic end of the pH scale, and that's ocean acidification. So essentially, the CO2 that's being released into the atmosphere right now is making the ocean become more acidic. And even though it's a slow process, it's still happening. And I'm not really sure if it's something to be concerned with. I think obviously since it's affecting different species, I think then it should be a concern. Like it mentioned, the pteropods, which their shells are being deteriorated because of ocean acidification, and a lot of other species like coral, and I think I wrote it down. Yeah, and other species that have shells and exoskeletons, their shells and exoskeletons are essentially deteriorating because of ocean acidification. So I think it should be a concern in that factor. I mean, if we're concerned about polar bears when it comes to global warming, then we should also be concerned about the fact that CO2 levels rising is increasing acidification in the ocean and affecting different species in the ocean as well. So yeah, and now I'm going to do the lab. I went ahead and have my cabbage boiled, and what I'm going to be doing is adding a teaspoon or tablespoon to each cup, and I have a lot of different testable liquids over here. This one's vinegar, so I'm going to add a tablespoon to this. If I can get some. Let's see what that does. Alright, so it kind of made it, it's hard to tell, a light pink. And now I have some lemon juice. I mean, that one's about the same color as the vinegar. It's just the liquid is a little different, so you can tell there's a color change in the lemon juice a little better. Also, when I mixed the liquids with water, I added a tablespoon of each to the water just to be consistent with the amount that I added. And now I'm going to add it just to plain water. As you can see, it made it a light blue. It's kind of hard to see actually. Not really good with this camera. And now I'm going to add it to baking soda. And it looks like, let me just stir it a little bit because the baking soda's kind of stuck at the bottom. Yeah. Alright, now you can kind of see it turned blue. And now I'm going to add it to ammonia. Let's see what it does there. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I made it green. In the next part of the lab, actually I'll show you what each cup looks like together. So you can kind of see it goes from pink to just the blue, which is what the water looks like anyways, the darker purple, and then a lighter blue, and then a green with the ammonia. And now we're going to see what happens when you add CO2 to the boiled cabbage, or the pH scale, I guess. So this one is just basic water, and I'm not going to add any bubbles to it, but I'm going to add a teaspoon to it like I did to the other one. And then I'm going to add it to this one as well. But with this one, I'm supposed to blow bubbles in it, and you can kind of maybe see a color change. You can kind of see the color change. It's definitely, you can't really tell in the video, but this one is definitely more blue, and this one has turned a lot more purple because of me breathing into it and adding CO2 to it, so that increased the acidity of the solution. And that's really all I have. Thanks.